My name is Brandon Hessing. I am 26.
My name is Samantha Wise. I'm 22. And we've been together for
A year and like 2 months.
yeah, almost 3.
We met through a friend of mine who just happens to be her brother-in-law, and just hanging out at their place, we kind of met.
And what would you say was the attraction to you two? Or you just kind of like
Is that even a question? I mean, look at this. I mean, whew.
My name's Mandy Beaver. I graduated in 2010 with my Bachelor's of Science in Biology, and in 2011 with my Master's in Business Administration.
I'm Tony Laura, and I graduated 2009, and it was computer science.
We dated for 4 years. Is that what we calculated out a few
Yeah.
weeks ago? Almost 4 years.
Weird.
He would talk to me on MSN.
Yeah.
But if
Back
I
in
saw
the
him
old days.
back in the old days, but when I saw him in the hall, 2 words.
Yeah.
Hey Tony, how are you? Good. That was it.
My
or I
English
could-
was not that good.
I would talk to him and yeah. That's all I ever got. But online he could talk.
I was better writing than speaking English, so I was more confident than.
And it took him getting drunk to ask me out.
Yeah.
My first story when I was attracted to Kaylee was in Pam Green's class in our Intro to Education. I got to talking to her during a group when she separated us into twos, and we had little name tags. We were supposed to find our partner, and my name tag was Romeo, and her name tag was
Juliet.
And we talked after that, and she thought I was crazy.
I thought he was weird. I thought he was a player.
But I thought she was very energetic, and I like girls that are energetic and outgoing automatically from the get-go. And she had a cute smile with dimples.
Well, first we met at the bonfire, but I thought he was mean because he didn't let me join them at his house. And then we met on the track team, or on the field, right? Yeah.
So they ended up coming over another time after we were hosting people at the apartment or whatever. She ended up coming with a group of her friends, and then, well, you, Kevin, and whoever else was over, and that's when I actually met her. She actually added me on Facebook thinking I was Chris Donald.
I forgot about that.
So
Yeah.
Thing was like, one day we have a meal, like it's kind of beginning of the semester we started having a meal. So everyone was like, okay, let's go to our city Chinese restaurant over there. So I met her. We talked a little bit at the first time, and just keep hitting on, keep going around, keep chasing her. And then I got her.
Yeah, I think sort of how I met your mother situation with, Ted and Robin, how, he sort of chased her for a while. She's kind of like, but then, they ended up getting together. But no, I mean, his openness to doing things, he participated in International Club. He did this skit 2 years ago, and so maybe it was your dancing skills or something.
Yeah.
All of these couples have something in common. If you didn't catch on, they are all in an interracial relationship. Prior to doing this study, we as a group were under the impression that interracial relationships were not very well accepted. We asked members of a small community how they felt about interracial relationships to show the public's perception.
I have no problem with it. I have a grandson that is racially mixed, and it's just fine.
Asian, black, it doesn't matter to me as long as they're in love.
I think you should stick to your own color, race. That's how I was raised, and that's what I believe in, and that's what it'll always be.
I'm from the old school, and of course we didn't have it then, and now they do. Matter of fact, the young gal that just moved in next door is white and has been married to 2 different black men.
Not really that big of a deal, I don't think.
Oh, that shit, I mean, that shit is dope, son. You gotta have your little Cubans, you gotta have all kind of different flavors of girls. I'm just saying. You can't just go around the world and just experience like one flavor. You gotta have all the flavors. It's like a rainbow, a plethora. I'm just saying.
Does not bother me at all. And I know that my generation versus my kids' generations, the attitudes have changed greatly.
relationships, and we want to know how you feel about it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Have you ever been in one?
Yeah.
I really have no opinion on it. It's do whatever you want to do. I mean, it's your body. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. So do whatever you want to do. No, it's not for me, but that's my own personal opinion.
Well, my grandkids are half Mexican. I'm half Indian. How in the hell you think it fits? It don't make me a damn bit of difference. We all bleed red, buddy. We all bleed red.
We also interviewed students who are in an interracial relationship to see the trials and tribulations that they were forced to go through, along with the advantages and disadvantages of their respective relationships. This documentary shows the true color of love.
What about you, Sam? Is Brandon your first time dating outside your own race?
Yep.
And what's that like?
Pretty much.
Look at it.
Brandon, this you would say is not your first time dating outside your own race.
No, I've dated outside my race before. There was a couple of times, like in previous relationships, where the other person's like family may have not. At least that's what they said. I don't know if that's 100% the truth, but
My mom, when I decided to tell her I was actually at work, and I just texted her, and she was like, she said that they already knew who it was, and I was like, well, who do you think it is if you think you know who it is? And her response was not very polite. She specifically said, well, aren't there any nice white guys left? And my response to that was, well, I guess I wasn't raised to be that closed-minded and be concerned with those type of issues, because that's not the way you raised me. So I don't understand why you have a problem with that. And the fact of the matter is, you know, he has his master's, he's working, he, you know, has a steady job, a steady income. You know, he's treated me probably best out of anybody that I've ever dated, and so why is that even an issue? And after I brought that to her attention, she backed off a lot.
Was dating Chris the first time you ever dated somebody outside of your own race?
No.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Yep. He met my parents first, and they personally were a little undecided about it, because they also grew up in small towns, so they're just like, they were a little iffy about it, but they've grown and understood, and like they're more accepting now than what they were in the beginning. Cause
so
I think the first time when I went on a date with Chris actually in Wichita, and they're like, who are you going on a date with? And I was like a friend from SC, and then they're like, they wanted to know more details because I was going to Wichita. But that was when they were just like, oh, like they're kind of they didn't like, I don't know, they're kind of taken aback, like, oh, why not a white person? Like, I don't know, they have those random questions, but it's, I don't know.
Slightly, it irritated me, but it wasn't like, oh, I have to leave you alone now because we have to see things like they do. Like, It wasn't like that. It was more or less like, why are they stuck in their ways?
That, like, vacation randomly, my dad's like, you can be with whoever you want as long as they treat you as a princess. And he's great to me, so I don't know, like, okay.
Well, for my part, they don't care. So.
There's people in my family that don't care either. But then there's people that married in who are jerks and think they know everything. My sister's husband now is, this actually helped open up my parents' eyes on the relationship with us, because he's an asshole, yeah. Because he's just really, like, he's really vulgar, and he's very racist, and like, one of our family vacations, it was a family reunion / vacation in Texas or whatever, and he heard that I was dating Chris, and he was going around talking to like my aunts and uncles about it, like, do you know that she's dating a black guy, blah blah blah, and like, he's not even like intermediate family, so I was like, he has nothing to, like, it made me mad because he has nothing to say.
My dad and my mom was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
American, pretty nice. The thing is, my parents are English teachers. We have a lot of English teachers in my family, like several of my aunts and my uncle and my parents, so they're okay with it. It's probably just some of the other family members. They just like, oh, you have American girlfriend. It's pretty interesting.
It's not a big deal for them at all. They are accepting of any color or race. Doesn't make a difference. But it's actually not the first interracial relationship in my family.
Yeah, that's the thing. She said it's not a really big deal for Americans, but it's really a big deal for Chinese. Like if you take the girl or take the guy to go to see the parents, it's really a big deal, which means you guys are gonna go to continue something. So
Possibly getting married.
Yeah. So I mean, I've met her parents a lot of times, but still, sometimes nervous and still nervous.
She is the first girl I ever dated with a different ethnic background.
Oh yeah.
But with her being the ethnic background, I guess it was kind of different when I met her family, and with her generation, she can't speak Spanish very well, but her family,
my grandparents can.
Grandparents and uncles, they can. So I guess that was pretty cool to be around. And my grandpa in Arizona, he's quite racist. To tell you the truth, he doesn't know about Kaylee yet.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks.
But no, that's the only person that I would see having a similar problem in my family. And now he's in Arizona, which is near Mexico, and now they're building up and making him mad. He tells me all the time.
The first time he met my mom before we went home for summer, and my mom said that she really liked him. And then he came to my volleyball games, and some of my family members came, so they just like met, like a quick hi. And then I took him home, what was it, some weekend in February, and that's when he met like the whole Rodriguez side, and that took up the whole Bogey's restaurant. And I told him that he was just meeting my grandparents, and so I was like, I'm really sorry, I hope you don't like freak out, because there's like 20 Rodriguez family members in Bogey's. And he got to know them all really well and tried to remember names and stuff. But
I was born in a small town where my mom was born. It's called Cuauhtemoc, and it's in the state of Chihuahua, which she laughs every time because it's named after a dog. She says it's named after a dog, but it's not. But then we moved. When I was a little kid, we moved to the big city of Juarez, and my dad is from Juarez, so they moved there. His whole family's there, and it's just it's a big family, and everybody's together. Like my best friends are basically my cousins, and
I'm guessing maybe you've had a chance to meet his family.
There are so many of them.
Yeah.
I've met I can't put it in a percentage, no. Every time I go, there's more. There's like 10 new people, 20 new people. So it is huge family. But they're all real nice and welcoming for them. They're great.
Well, I was fine. I think she was the one who was so nervous.
Because your aunt kept telling your mom she's knocked up, knocked up. Oh my God, he's only bringing her home because she's knocked up.
She pre-gamed my mom saying he's just bringing her because she's knocked up. And
I've never brought anybody home before.
So my mom was nervous. We were joking.
I wanted to put an airplane pillow
on her stomach and introduce her, but no.
I got too scared. I think my parents met you in the wintertime, and Tony's pretty pale in the wintertime, as you can see, because he's mestizo. My mom was confused when I said, oh no, he's really Mexican. He's got a Mexican passport and everything. But he's so white.
At that point, I was still learning about the Chinese culture. I'd never been too much interested in it before that, but I had made friends with the Chinese students that were in the international club, so I was starting to learn more about it. I was starting to try to learn the language, and so he's been helping me out with that.
Yeah. I'm just a new resident of this country, so culture, no, not really, because we still fight with culture sometimes. Just like
there's so many rules, and so I just let him do all that. So, and then there was once he tricked me into eating blood, trying blood. Yeah, it was part of a soup or something, and well, at first I thought maybe it was like an organ of a chicken or something. They'll eat like the whole entire chicken will be in the pot, and so they'll eat the head, the feet, everything, and apparently they'll eat the blood too, because he had me try it, and I was like, I don't know, is it an organ? And he's like, nope, that was the blood. I was like, oh, okay. They're very not like male dominated, but they feel the need to protect their girl, or
It's kind of guy always standing in the front of everything.
Yeah.
So.
And whereas in America, no, there's a lot of women that are like, no. And I'm very much like that. You know, it's a two-way street there. You know, you're not better than me, you know. And he doesn't act like he's better than me, but at the same time, it's like, you know, so
it's been a power struggle, right?
It is. And
it helps me a lot. I mean, I tried. Sometimes we had a fight about the culture thing. Try to deal with it. Try to think about it from that way. But you know, sometimes I stick at my culture because I lived in that culture for like 20-something years.
I just look at them for their inner beauty, just like her.
So if I was to go tanning, you wouldn't have a problem with that, right?
Oh no, I have a problem with that completely.
I'm just getting darker.
No. Hispanics don't need a tan. But no, I hope she handles it pretty well because she knows I mean nothing by it.
Then why do you do it?
Because it's
That's
funny.
really hurtful.
No, it isn't. Because you make them too.
No. Oh, I make them? I don't make whitey jokes.
What about the time that we went to visit all your family, the whole Spanish there, and you're like, oh, look, it only takes them 2 bands to get in. Yeah, who said that? You or me?
Okay, well, we both make them, and I know he's joking, and if he really wasn't, then I probably wouldn't talk to him for a day or two. Maybe months, who knows. But no, I know it's just all fun and games, and I mean, I do it too, so I guess I can't really get mad at it.
Chile Colorado was about the newest thing you brought. I hadn't had that before. Everything else I'd pretty much had in one form or another.
Her mom did told her that she would probably marry a Mexican.
Yeah, my mom did tease me all my life because I love Mexican food. And so my mom always teased me when I was a kid, oh, you're just going to marry a Mexican and you're going to eat lots of Mexican food. I mean, sometimes there's miscommunications.
Oh, yeah.
But it's usually when a telephone is involved. I also wasn't Catholic, which is what I was very scared about, and the cultural differences. And the language barrier was always kind of interesting, trying to mime things to your mom.
I will say it's more receptive. You'll even see it in the media more often. James Bond at one time had Halle Berry be one of his Bond girls. I mean, so I think the media helps influence culture, and culture influences the media.
Yeah, Winfield seems to be a very open community and very...
I don't know about that.
I think it's more accepting than somewhere like Derby or Mulvane or...
At one point in time when I was a student here, I learned that when white girls dated black guys, the white guys would call them damaged goods. I was like, wow, I think I was like a junior here when I heard that. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. But it did happen in Winfield. You ever heard that before?
Yeah.
It's really not an issue. It's only the only time it presents itself when I see that other people are uncomfortable with it. That's when it comes to my attention. Other than that, I don't see it.
I mean, there's still people that are like, oh gosh, what are they thinking? But it's...
It depends on who I don't know. It depends on who you're asking. Like from our perspective, yeah, it seems more accepting because we're the ones doing it. But to an older person, it'd be like, no, that's wrong.
I see things like I'm like, oh, I'm free, I get to do it. But then they make me realize that there's still some things that they can't do the same as like a average white person. And then I see things that actually are like, oh, okay, that opens my eyes. It still hasn't fully changed yet in society, so.
Like you could do anything you want except date a black guy.
Yeah. Here, they're pretty well accepted. I mean, I only met one person who had some turbulence when I told him, oh, I'm getting married. Oh, where's he from? Mexico. Oh, he's just out for a green card. And by the way, that process is much harder than everybody thinks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was Brittany.
Oh.
When I called her and told... No, she wasn't. She was being very serious about it. And
in American society, I would say definitely. America is a melting pot, so it's almost impossible to not have at least one somewhere. But I would definitely say that there are probably people out there that are still, there's still racist people out there, so of course there's still going to be those that are like, no way, this is never going to happen. But
I feel like there has been like a big change. I mean, you see more and more diverse schools, diverse colleges, diverse homes, and I think it's just because we're like we were all mixtures of people. I mean, no one was originally here except for like the Native Americans, and then we all just came and we kind of just all got together.
I agree. I think America's one big. I think America's for culture, and that's what we bring in America is culture, and definitely interracial couples, right?
Starting this project, we were not sure of the perception of interracial relationships. Getting to know these couples and members of the community, we were able to get into the minds of those in this situation. Racism may not be completely gone, but it is clear love goes beyond color.